Today's a crazy day and I got a package that I'm super excited for. I finally got my hands on Fujifilm X-E4. Man, I've watched so many videos on this. Actually, before I get started, this camera is like literally out of stock everywhere. It's taken me forever to be able to get one. So if you need yourself a brand new one, Houston's Camera Exchange, I called them. They said they have a bunch in stock. So if you want to get yourself one, definitely cop from there. I mean, they showed love to me by having them in stock, or else I was gonna buy a used one on eBay. I've been watching so many videos on this camera. I've literally been trying to get my hands on it for not too long, but I knew that I was planning to get it very soon. And I recently made a video that I was getting rid of some of my previous cameras, and so this is going to essentially be replacing one of my cameras. And so I got it with some lens that I will be showing you what they are in a bit. Before I get into that though, I do ask that you please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know what Fuji camera you like, and if you have any tips, because this is my first time buying a new digital camera outside of this camera that I used to record in a long time. The reason why I wanted to get this camera is because I'm traveling a lot, and sometimes I like to have something on me to, you know, just kind of grab and go, but I don't always want to shoot film. 85% of the time I usually want to shoot film, but you know, there is that small other percentage that I just don't want to use film. And so I thought I wanted to get myself a good solid camera. Fuji has been doing amazing things. There's literally nothing but great reviews about Fuji cameras all over YouTube. And I love my Sony a7C, but I like to primarily use it for video. I'm not a huge fan with how the photos come out. And I've also heard about these crazy Fuji simulations, and so I can't wait to actually put it to the test. Okay, and what we have been waiting for. This is it. First things first, you know, everyone talks about how small this camera is, and it's ridiculously small. This is a 50mm 1.8 lens, and it's literally shorter than those lenses. And the lens is almost about 3/4 the length of the camera. So yeah, it's pretty small and it's super light. Like I feel like I could accidentally throw it away. Don't want to do that. I actually didn't get the 28mm kit lens option. That wasn't available when I was purchasing mine, so I had to buy another lens. I was able to snag some used lens from MPB. This is a Fujifilm 16mm 2.8 lens. I picked this up for like 200 something bucks. I just thought I'd grab that, and people said that it's a good option to have. So yeah, no, I think this is gonna take some really amazing shots. Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess once you turn it on, has some questions for you. Some pretty general setup stuff. I've heard that this camera has like a flip up screen. You know, granted, I don't plan on using this too much for video, but it's good to know that, you know, we at least get this. I've heard some other people complain about the fact that Fuji cameras don't necessarily have options when it comes to screen capabilities and whatnot. What? Okay. Yeah, so I've just attached the 16mm lens to it. You know, it's definitely not a pancake lens, but I think it'll get the job done. I'm super excited to play with these simulations. Super excited to use this camera, but I'm also super excited to see this camera in action with the type of work that I do. I love a little bit of behind the scenes. I love a little bit of portraiture. And I know this isn't like portrait equipment, but yeah, so let's take this out to shoot, and then we could talk about the pics afterwards, and you all can let me know what you think. All right, so we outside shooting with the X-E4. It's hella cold right now. Hasn't been this cold in a bit, but no, the lighting is perfect though, so I think these pictures are about to come out crazy. So this is my first time shooting with it. Yeah, let's so. Okay, so I went out yesterday, took some pictures for my friend who was shooting a music video. We were doing a little bit of the behind the scene. And I just want to start off by saying, by now you all have seen the pictures. They look amazing. Granted, I did a little bit of work in post. I also used one of the preset simulations. I didn't do anything custom, but overall though, I love the way that the photos came out. I think that this camera is exactly, you know, what it's supposed to be. It's a sharp, quick, fast camera that you can literally grab around. I put it in my hoodie pocket, so I would literally just whip it out, take a couple of pictures, put it back in, help out, take it out again, take a couple more pictures. I want to definitely get a pro mist filter for this camera just to soften up the pictures a little bit. Do want to get a small flash for this camera. I feel like if it's going to be something that I use to emulate my 35mm look, in some scenarios I do take my camera out at night, and sometimes I love that 35mm flash look. And I also want to maybe not use or add any grain, because I added some grain to it and I could tell that like my pictures were really grainy. And granted, I don't hate the grain look. I love it. You know, I bought this digital camera for it to look the closest it can to film pictures, but still having digital camera features, if that makes sense. But I think because I had mine on strong instead of weak and on large grain instead of small, it was just a little bit too much for me. Taking this out for the first time, there were a couple of things that I noticed that was a little bit different. The first thing that I noticed was that focusing, you have to press the button a little bit harder than any other camera that I've used. But when I've used other digital cameras, the first, you know, the soft touch is usually a lot softer than this. This you actually have to push down a bit and then it focuses and then you take a picture. That definitely took some getting used to because I would barely press it assuming that it would focus, but it wouldn't. Another thing that was different, which I think I could change, is like I would press the actual screen thinking that that would change where it's focused, but in actuality it would take a photo. I thought was extremely weird. I don't know if I was on a certain setting or something like that, but that I was not used to at all. And another thing, I thought the viewfinder was not as clear as I expected it to be in there. I'm so used to just kind of holding the camera to my face, similar to a 35mm, and just kind of launching off. But I felt myself using the actual screen more than that viewfinder, which, you know, I won't lose any sleep over it, but it was one of the first things that I noticed while using it. Overall though, I do think the camera is something that I'm excited to shoot. I have a couple of destinations that I'll be traveling to. I think this is a camera that I will keep on me and that I will use to take pictures for those different things that I plan on doing, and I think the pictures are going to turn out amazing when I do so. I'm excited to also play around with some of the simulations just to really see how much can it look like film without it being film. So I know a lot of people like me purchased this camera to get a film-like look without it being a film camera, so I definitely want to push it to its limits and see, you know, what are some of the results that I can get. I'd love to hear what you all thought about this camera when you first got it. I definitely plan on doing a much bigger review down the line just to give a lot more insight, some of the things that I saw, and just some things to take notice of. With that being said, that was my first impression of this Fuji X-E4. I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like on this video because it really does help the channel as we are on the road to 1K. Make sure to leave a comment, but most importantly, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you could know when I post new videos. Thank you so much for all your support, and until the next one, peace.